A meaningless world engenders fear. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 13 of A Course in Miracles. This is a good lesson for sure, for sure. It's going off of the one that we did yesterday. Yesterday we did lesson 12, which was I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Now today's lesson is a meaningless world engenders fear, and we're going to learn and understand why a meaningless world engenders fear. But before that, I was just looking through my book, right? I'm looking through my book, and look how much I highlighted when I first got this book. Like, this is in the text. Almost the whole entire page is highlighted, and that's not even just that one. Next page. And that may seem a little excessive, but nah, if you read this thing, it's like, what? It's like mind blowing stuff. I don't even think this book should be out because it's just like, you know what I mean? You got to see for yourself. If you haven't read the text yet, you should really look into it. Just start. Just go to the first chapter and check it out and be blown away about what's in this book. Um, I'm gonna see if I can find something real quick. I'm not gonna do all that because there's too many good things. I'll do that maybe tomorrow. But what's good with you? We're gonna be woke today together. We are going to enjoy this moment. It is a wonderful time to be alive right here in this moment. Every single moment is a blessing. Let's do our best to stay in this moment right now, this instant, because too many times I find myself in the past. I'll be thinking about the past or the future, and that's not happening now, and I'm blocking from being in the moment. And something that goes wrong with that is most of the time we're thinking about the past and all the fear that was back there, all of the illusions, all of the stuff that we thought happened that really didn't. And we believe, whenever we identify with the ego, we believe that the future is going to look the same way. That's why we always are so fearful about what the future has to hold, or we doubt that the things that we desire in this world are going to come to pass because they may have not done so in the past. And now we think that it's going to be the same because we're projecting what happened back there over there on the future. And none of that is even happening right now. It's all an illusion. It only gets you upset in any form that takes: worried, doubt, fear, angry, frustrated, confused. You lose lack of clarity in your mind. But whenever you're in this moment like we are right now, this is where all the blessings happen. This is the real moment. This is where heaven is, right here, right now. This is the only place you could find that in this world. This is where eternity is, in this now. And if you're in your head, if we're in our heads and we're thinking about what happened yesterday, or anything that happened in the past that wasn't love, it was an illusion. It didn't really happen. It was just it was all a misunderstanding. And like a good example of that is, let's just say two people are getting in an argument. They are both attacking each other because they believe that they could be attacked, but attack is really, it is meaningless because a son of God cannot be attacked. You are invulnerable. You are literally eternal. So although this body may be able to be attacked, you are not this body. Thank goodness, or else you would be doomed and you would be capable of being destroyed. But because you are just wearing this body as a temporary outfit, you are eternal, and nothing can harm you. Nothing ever has, nothing ever will. You are perfect. You are light. You are all the attributes that you give to God. You are all of those because God creates like himself, meaning he created me and you, and we share those same attributes. And although sometimes we forget that, it's happening right now all the time. But being aware of that is so powerful because whenever you're aware of who and what you are and the power that lies within you, everything is just like heavenly. Everything works out in your favor. And that's just something that you got to get used to. Everything always works out in my favor when it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, when it comes to material possessions or anything in this world that you feel that you want or need, it will work out in your favor whenever you know who and what you are and the power that lies within you. And you need nothing. I need nothing. We are whole right now in this moment. We are perfect. So don't ever desire out of lack. Understand that you are already complete right now and you are perfect, therefore expanding. You're not perfect and therefore finished. You are always going to be expanding, and you cannot stop that from happening because that's just how this universe operates. We are constantly expanding. Whenever you reach that desire that you are looking towards accomplishing, you're going to get there, and then you're going to give birth to another desire from that new standpoint, that new preference. From that, you're going to give birth to a new preference from that new perspective, and so on and so on and so on until you're no longer in this body and you return back to all that is. So you will always be, you have always been. And this course that we have been studying together is just a great reminder of that. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're on lesson 13 right now. We're going to go ahead and read it together. So pull up the book. You already know what to do. Lesson 13. If you don't got the book, PDF is in the description. And let's get right into it. Let's read this. We're going to apply what we read. We're going to discuss it. And we're just going to have a great time while doing so. And then whatever happens, happens. So let's go ahead and begin. Lesson 13. A meaningless world engenders fear. Today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, except that it is more specific as to the emotion aroused. Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not think you perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all the separated ones. It represents a situation in which God and the ego challenge each other as to whose meaning is to be written in the empty space that meaninglessness provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own ideas there, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own impotence and unreality. And on this alone, it is correct. It is essential, therefore, that you learn to recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess. And wow, you hear that? I'm going to read that one more time. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess. So we're all just thinking that we're these humans and we're thinking that we're these bodies walking around in this world, and we're fearful and we're giving this world attributes that it does not possess. But because we believe that they are there and we're projecting, we're seeing all of that, but it's not really there. So be glad. Be glad. Let's continue. I just had to say that because that was powerful. Where were we? If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess, and crowd it with images that do not exist. To the ego, illusions are safety devices, as they must also be to you who equate yourself with the ego. The exercises for today, which should be done about 3 or 4 times for not more than a minute or so at most each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the preceding ones. With eyes closed, repeat today's idea to yourself. Then open your eyes and look about you slowly, saying, I am looking at a meaningless world. Repeat this statement to yourself as you look about. Then close your eyes and conclude with, A meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. You may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another to this concluding statement. Whatever form such resistance may take, remind yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. You are not expected to believe the statement at this point and will probably dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any signs of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. This is our first attempt at stating an explicit cause and effect relationship of a kind which you are very inexperienced in recognizing. Do not dwell on the concluding statement and try not to even think of it except during the practice periods. That will suffice at present. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. That was very powerful, and I hope you just picked up what was put down. So let's go ahead and apply this, and we're going to talk about it, okay? And it may sound preposterous, like the course says. It sounded crazy to me at first because it's different. It's really different. But when you understand this stuff, oh my goodness, you are like a master of the universe. So let's read this. I am looking at a meaningless world. Look around you real quick. Take a look around you. Take a look around me. I am looking at a meaningless world. A meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. Now, if you go back, and that sounds crazy, but let's understand why that was stated. If you go back, it talks about the ego. The ego is that sense of separation that exists within every single one of us that believes that me and you are separate from one another, and we believe we're separate from the world. We believe we're separated from God. We believe we are separated from everyone and everything. We think we're just this little boxed in person over here separated from the entire world. While everyone's out there having fun, being together, we're over here separated. That's what it may feel like from time to time whenever you identify yourself with the ego. Another attribute that you may feel whenever you identify yourself with the ego is you think you are this body, because the ego wants you to believe that you are this body because this body is temporary. Therefore, you forget who you truly are, and you believe in the ego, which perpetuates its existence. But whenever you understand that you are not this body and you are love and light and you are eternal, then you understand that in that moment the ego does not exist. It is not real, and it does not want you to think that, because there goes, that's why whenever you say you killed your ego, that's what that means. Ego death. The ego doesn't exist. It's not there. But whenever you are identifying yourself with it, it's going to keep its grasp on you in any way possible by making you project every fearful thought that is within you outside, making it appear that it's their fault and not yours, because the ego wants to see the ego in other people to perpetuate its own existence. So the course talks a lot about this in depth in text, and it also does in the lessons as we continue. But that's my best way at this moment of explaining what the ego is. Now, the ego thinks that it's in competition with God. Remember, it says that this world is meaningless, it's neutral, it's empty space, and the ego rushes to that empty space to write and kind of like code its own definitions for what it wants that thing or situation or person to be, like worry, doubt, fear, all of those illusions. And that's why the ego believes that it's in competition with God, but the ego is really does not exist. And even in the course, it uses the words challenge, because ego can't really challenge something that is not real, cannot challenge what is real. Truth cannot be challenged. Truth cannot be altered. It cannot be changed. Truth is truth. Truth is who me and you are. But whenever we do fall asleep and we believe that we are the ego and we are identifying ourselves with the ego, that's whenever we believe that we are less than that person. We are not enough because we don't have this product that someone is trying to advertise to us. Like, this world is really crazy because people be trying to make you feel like you're not good enough in order for you to help benefit them by paying them whatever they're asking for their product that they are telling you will make you good enough. And then you get that, and it makes you happy for a little bit, and then you go back to that endless cycle of not good enoughness because you identify yourself with the ego. It happens to everyone in this world. It happens to me. I'm sure it happens to you, but no longer are we going to allow that to happen because it is unnecessary. It is needless. And me and you in this moment, because of we are woke, see this for what it really is. And we see that it is an illusion. It is not there. In that moment, whenever we are identifying with the ego, we are hallucinating. Literally, we are seeing something that is not there. So this lesson is a great beginning place to help you understand that you are not the ego, and you are not anything that even you say you are. You just are love and light and truth, and that cannot be changed. And let's erase any single memory that we have that says otherwise, because again, it is needless. It is just a false perception that we have put upon ourselves. It is not really who we are. Me and you in this moment know who we really are. And don't forget that everyone else is also that too. Friends, family, co-workers, strangers, anybody. We are everybody. We are all that same love and light. We are all reflections of one another. I am reflecting the light to you that is within you, and you're reflecting the light that is in you, that is in me. And in any moment when I don't see that light in you and I'm comparing myself to you, I am asleep. I am identifying myself with the ego because I think I'm a body and I'm comparing myself to your body. But that body is meaningless. It's neutral. And I am projecting all of my meaning on it. And in any moment I do that and I'm asleep, I can't see who you truly are. Therefore, I'm asleep to who I am as well. And vice versa. Whenever you don't see that love and light in another brother or sister or friend or anybody, you are asleep to who you truly are. And that is just so unnecessary, because you could be living your best life right here in this moment, in this now, 24/7 all the time. But instead, we choose to fall asleep and see something that is not there, to see fear, to see a fearful world, to see comparison, to see an angry world, a fearful world, a world that we made up in our heads, and a world that we in this moment just changed and gave it its actual meaning. This world is what you make it, and let's make the most of it while we're here in these bodies. So I hope that you just picked up what was put down, because wow, I'm blown away as well. And that is lesson 13 for you. Until next time, I will catch you tomorrow for lesson 14.